Folks at home, it is opening morning of turkey season here in Alabama, and the gobblers are fired up. Before me and my buddy Corey could even get out of the cart and get our vest on, one that was roosted about 75 yards away was hammering. So we got tucked in a spot about 50 yards away from him, and let's just watch how this unfolds. He just flew down. And we also had something pretty cool. A train rolled through and he was gobbling at it. That was pretty cool. So you'll see this happen a lot in turkey hunting, or at least more than I think it should. The turkey gets just outside of shooting range and hangs up. It could be that he's got hens with him. There could be a creek down there that's in between you and the turkey. But for some reason, they'll hang up in one spot. They'll gobble their head off. They'll answer every call, but they will not come any closer. And in this particular instance, I feel like he was 5 to 10 yards outside of shooting range. And if all the leaves weren't on the trees, he would have been in shooting range. But you could tell that this is a smart bird and one that we were going to have to get up and make a move on. Guys, you are not going to believe what just happened. I walked down this trail to set up my decoy, and I literally set it up 12 inches away from a rattlesnake. I'm about to have a heart attack right now. So I put my decoy down in the ground. I took a step back, and I heard the loudest rattle I've ever heard in my life. And I looked down, and I'm standing on top of a giant rattlesnake. And I'm telling you guys, that's the closest I've ever come to fainting in my life. I feel like I blacked out for just a second, took off, ran away, but look at how close I put this decoy to this rattlesnake. I was literally bent over with my hands, putting this stake down in the ground, and the snake was coiled up. I never knew it was there. It was up under these ruffled leaves, and I have to be the luckiest man alive that it didn't strike me. And look at this mud on his head. I'm pretty sure the reason he did not bite me is because I stepped directly on his head. It's safe to say this rattler can have that decoy. I'm not going nowhere near it. All right, Sarah, you ready to catch your first fish?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go.
Push your button.
Watch the cork. As soon as it goes under, you reel it in, okay? Reel it. You got one. Reel it.
Reel. Ooh.
All right.
Really? Good job.
You got a fish on there. Do you see him?
Oh.
He's a big one.
Real.
Oh, he's pretty.
Look
you caught one.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
You want to touch him?
She doesn't know what to say. Touch him. He's your first fish.
Oh. Mouth.
Yeah, you got him in the mouth.
He's breathing.
You hold him.
Yeah.
You don't want to hold him?
Mouth.
Yep. I'm holding him in his mouth. You want to touch him before we let him go? You want Mama to let him go?
Ready?
1.
So bye-bye. Bye-bye. 2, 3, go. Good job.
All right, good job. Guys, you are not going to believe this. So yesterday, the snake sighting was right there where my decoy was. So I wouldn't go get my decoy. I was afraid that the rattler was still there. So I brought Corey today. He had a little stick up there. He was poking around. We got the decoy. I was walking back. This is where I was set up yesterday, right there on that tree. I walked over there, grabbed my bag. I set my gun down right here, and literally the snake is right there. This is the second time that I've walked right past this snake. So I'm not big on killing snakes, but this guy is set up to really do some damage on somebody. So I can't even get in there and get my gun, so Corey's gonna do the honors. So the next afternoon I went out hunting with my buddy Brian, and we were hunting in some swamp bottoms. We came across a few jakes early in the afternoon. And I saw a couple of unique things on this trip. One of them was the biggest cottonwood tree I've ever seen in my life. And the second was the biggest crawdad hole I've ever seen in my life. And my goodness, this crawdad was building himself a mansion. But before long we got on the gobblers and we had one that was really close to us, but we decided to back off a little bit. Rather than booger them up for that afternoon, we were just going to back off, roost them, and go in first thing in the morning. And this was a really cool hunt first thing at daylight. We roosted 3 gobblers, and these 3 gobblers were hammering at everything. We even had a white-tailed deer walk up to us and it got spooked, so it started blowing, and every time it would blow, the gobblers would gobble again. So we heard them fly down, and rather than walking through the woods to us, they ended up going up over a big hill, so we were going to have to make a move and pull a sneak attack on them.
They can try to loop around and get ahead of them, and that's what we'll have to do. Folks, we had to crawl up this hill right here. We literally could have stayed in the truck. The truck is right there, and as soon as we got to the top of this hill, right over there is where we shot him. He was standing in the middle of a dirt road, just strutting right there. All right, we got him. And that was an awesome shot. Dirt road gobbler. That's a first for me. Man, and it was hard, you know, and how we set up thinking they were going to do something different. I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it, but they walked probably 10 yards from that truck that we drove in on and came right down this road. And the mouth call got him. Appreciate the calling. Yeah, man. I mean, congratulations on that. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. Awesome job. And that's awesome. I'm glad it finally came together. Yeah, kind of in an awkward way. Had to do a little crawling. Yeah, sneak attack. But I can't believe we shot him in the middle of the road. But yeah. He came out of he was strutting right here. That's exciting. It's tough to beat that. My heart was pounding.
So the next morning I'm back out hunting with Corey, and it sounds like we've got a couple of gobblers and a jake up in the roost. So we set out a hen decoy on this trail and do a little bit of light calling. And they gobble pretty good this morning, but unfortunately they fly down in the opposite direction, so we know we're going to have to do the same exact thing, loop around them, and try to pull a sneak attack. So a couple hours later, we're hunting over the side of this steep ridge, and Corey gets them back fired up again, and one of these gobblers is extremely fired up. but once again he hangs up right outside of shooting range. And folks, that's why you gotta love turkey hunting, because these are some of the smartest creatures that you could ever possibly hunt. You win some, you lose a lot. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I am 100% thankful to be alive, and I'm counting my blessings every day. I hope you all stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.